Y'all get out of my garden. Get out of the garden. Get, all of you. Get out of the garden. Go, get. I tell y'all the truth. Get out of the garden. Get, go. What is going on, y'all? It's Jason over here at Cog Hill Farm, and I got a big issue with our garden. I ain't even got it planted yet, and I can foresee a major problem with the garden. And if we don't correct it now, we're gonna regret it. I can tell you that. I just know from experience, from things that has happened to me in the past, we gotta fix this now. And that is ducks. I got ducks staying out here in the garden area, just chilling, having a good old time. But there's a problem with ducks in the garden. You hear it a lot, at least I have heard it so many times, about put ducks in your garden, they'll keep the weeds out, they'll keep the pests down. They may do that. But anything that's leafy, anything that's fresh and young, they're going to eat it. I promise you. I've been there and I've done that. And we work too hard on the garden to provide food for our family, to provide food for the community. And we work too hard to have it destroyed in just a matter of minutes by ducks. So I've been tossing around ideas on how in the world I can keep the ducks out of the garden. And the only solution I came up with is this right here. Let me show y'all. It actually just came in the mail today, but while we're over here, y'all look at the climbing pinky. Look at those buds. These few little blooms that are blooming now don't look like that's gonna be nothing compared to what it's gonna be like here directly. It is just covered. And hopefully by the end of the season or next spring, it's gonna cover this whole arbor. So I thought about several things on how to keep the ducks out, honestly. And the only solution I could think of is putting a fence around the garden. But I didn't want a permanent fence around the garden. So I thought, let's do a Premier One electric fence or electric netting like we got around the movable chicken coop or the egg mobile, like we got around over there where Moody and the boys are in that back pasture. If I could put something like that there, because we plan on moving this garden around throughout the years, and that just seemed like the perfect solution. So that's what I got. So today we plan on hopefully planting the garden, but I'm not planting that garden, y'all, until I keep those guys out. And I think this is gonna work. So I got me a Premier One fencing set up, and Premier One had different variations. And so I reached out to them and told them what I was using it for. And this is what they suggested to me. And that is the 12-48-3. And I'll put all this information down below with links and everything to this. But it is the poultry netting is what he suggested to me. Mainly because I guess the ducks and all trying to get in there. And so that's what we're gonna do to keep these critters out of my garden. You know, you work hours on getting everything prepared. You work hours on getting the seedlings started and taking care of them every single day. Then the hard work of planting it all. So you're talking just, I don't know, if you were to put pencil to paper, I don't know if it would be days, I don't know. But it's a long darn time, and you got a lot invested in that. And it's taking you so long to get to that point that they could come in and destroy it in 30 minutes. And that's so frustrating, because then you got to start all over again. And who wants to do that? So we got electric poultry netting. I got the 48 inch poultry netting. And we're going to put this in the ground, and I'm going to put a solar charger on it. And now hopefully that will stop these ducks from coming in the garden. And this poultry netting is going to help me with if I had chickens that decided they wanted to wander over here, any kind of little small groundhog, anything that wanted to come in my garden, this poultry netting is going to help. Now, this is what I'm using. If you have any questions, reach out to Premier One. Just go to their website, links down below. They can answer any questions for you. They got several different types of fencing. They actually even have garden fencing. If deer's a problem, they even have deer fencing that's a good bit taller than this one. This one is 4 foot tall. So they should have what you need, depending on what type of pest you're trying to keep out of your garden. So I'm excited today. I'm excited. It's gonna be a long day. I'm gonna go and tell y'all, because I think we got around 1,200, maybe a little bit more plants to plant, and get the fence put up, and I'm gonna put my drip irrigation in. So we got a big day ahead of us, and we would love for you guys to tag along with us today. Tell them, Holly. Tell them, Holly. Come here, girl. Come here. Come around here. Tell them how you like herding them ducks up. That's like your favorite thing, isn't it? Huh? How'd you get so dirty? Where you been? Goodness gracious, who knows where this dog's been? I can tell you it's not far. You been digging in my garden? I hope not. Never seen me pull the drip irrigation. I'm just going to come down through here with my horse plow, because it does everything. It's gonna cover it up, pull it off, all at the same time. All right, Holly, let's get at it. Catching the devil when I hit a rock. So I just hit something in. Right there. That's a big one too. Good gracious, that is a monster. Here we go. Here's a big one. Whew. All right, let's go. As you guys know, I've been using this for years now. I love this, but my soil is not there yet. I got way too many rocks, and I mean, not rocks, I'm talking like, look, this is what I just threw out right here in the first so many foot. I mean, look at that. So what's happening to me is while I'm pushing this plow, I hit one of those rocks, and it just kind of knocks me off kilter, and then it comes unraveled. Now at my other farm, the little cog, where I had just beautiful, sandy, loamy, gorgeous composted soil, it went through it like butter and laid the tape underground. It was beautiful. I'll be out here 5 days trying to get this done. It's just the hand I've been dealt. It's just not gonna work. It's really not. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna run on top of the ground. That's all I can do. I still have my drip irrigation. I can't keep doing that. I'll be there all day. Or throw my back out one. Ain't that right, Holly? I don't need to do that. So what I'll do here is I'll come back with some landscape spikes and get this straightened out and into place. All right, so we got the drip tape down, and we decided to go ahead. Probably the next best thing to do is go ahead and put that fence up, because we want to get planted today. We got really, really cloudy skies. There's like a 40 or 50% chance of rain today, and we didn't want to get maybe a quarter of them planted, half of them planted, start pouring down, and it's exposed, and then the ducks come in here and possibly do some damage. So we're gonna go ahead and put that fence up, then we're gonna get started planting our garden, summer spring garden for 2023, and it's gonna be magnificent. Joe being okay? Everything's cool? All right, if he starts to act up now, shoot me a text. All right, we got the Premier One fencing up, and to my surprise, it looks good. I wasn't thinking about aesthetics of it, but it looks really, really good around the garden. Especially when the garden gets tall and you're gonna see flowers and stuff in it. It's really gonna look nice. Really nice. And I guess now, maybe set the pole for the charger. Well, we got the bucket on the tractor. I want to do it right here. That's where I maybe plan to go in and out if I need to. let's see here. I think we're gonna do vegetables first and flowers last. And
Well, I want to know, what vegetable are you looking most forward to?
the tomatoes.
Well, secondly.
Secondly, probably the okra. What you thinking? Squash?
Squash. I'm sitting here looking at it thinking, I hope we get that going soon.
Get the squash in the ground.
So the goal is to try to get all of the vegetables in the ground today, right?
That's the goal.
Hopefully the goal is succeeded.
That is the goal.
We've done a day's work already.
Yeah, we have. And I'll drive the side-by-side over here too. We can get a lot in this thing then.
Yeah.
More than a side-by-side, I think.
Yeah, that's why I decided to bring it up here.
I'll tell you what, I know these guys are gonna be happy.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna spread them toes out. They wear a size 12 shoe and they've been wearing size 6s. I'll go get the side-by-side because we got 1, 2, 3. We don't have many. We don't really have but two more full flats and some half flats. So I'll go get the side-by-side.
Yeah, that ought to be plenty. You want tomatoes first?
I'm gonna put tomatoes on a trellis. So no, I wanna do trellis and stuff on that above the ground drip tape so I can see it.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Uh-huh.
Okra, give me okra. There's 2 flats of okra. We got red and we got jambalaya. So our first row we're gonna start with is okra. We got 3 different types: jambalaya, burgundy, and Star David. And okra we're gonna space out about 2 foot apart. This is what I like to use on my plants when I first plant them. It's an organic fertilizer from House. It's a 543, and basically it is chicken compost. It's basically what it's, chicken manure compost. And I'm just gonna take just a little pinch per plant, drop it in there. Usually organic fertilizers like this, since it is composted chicken manure, it's also going to condition our soil as well. On anything that you see in this video that we're using, I will put links down below. And if you use any of our links, we do get a small commission at no extra cost to you guys. And it does help our farm out a lot. And we got promo code for Hoss, and I'll put that down below as well. All right, so we're gonna get Brooke started on the tomatoes.
3 to 4 foot.
And so what we're gonna do is, on tomatoes, we're going to go as deep as we can. When we hit rocks, we just want to stop. And nothing we can do about it.
So you want me to go ahead and get one out?
Yeah.
So we're starting with Bella Rosa. So we want to put our little tag in.
Bella Rosa.
I need to know what I'm eating. And if it comes from Cog Hill Farm, it's gonna be good.
That's right. And what we want to do is, I'm gonna take these little leaves off here, and I'm gonna plant this all the way to that first leaf right there. Just like so. And all that will turn into roots. And there we go.
So I take this one off and this one off and plant it up to there?
That's correct.
All right.
Plant it on. You want to take this one off too?
Oh.
Take this.
So how do I know where to stop? I go all the way to the top with it?
If you can, but if you can't go that deep, then, you know,
Okay.
it doesn't matter.
But plant it to right there?
Plant it to right there if you can.
Okay.
And all that'll turn into roots. We're actually doing our tomatoes at 3 foot apart because we got the space. But if you don't have the space, I wouldn't go less than 2 foot. Because they're going to spread out pretty good. This Bella Rosa stays pretty compact, which is awesome.
That's not deep enough.
That's fine, baby. That's
You
fine.
sure?
Trust me. Yeah. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. You're good. All right, so we got the okra done. We got a 100-foot row of okra. Brooke is almost finishing up this 100-foot row of Bella Rosa tomatoes. And so I'm fixing to start on eggplants and peppers, both of which we're going to space out around 18 inches apart. Eggplant's something that we really didn't grow at the other place. You know, it's such limited the space over there that we had to be very cautious of what we planted because we didn't have that much room. So eggplant was one that we, every now and then I would grow eggplant, but for the most part, I would skip eggplants. And I love eggplants. My only issue at the other farm with eggplant were flea beetles, but they're easy to control with my organic pesticide treatment that I like to do. My little rotation of 3 different ones, and I'll get into that later on for you guys. All right, we're continuing on. Brooke's still working on tomatoes. We actually got 4 rows of tomato plants, and I'm fixing to start on cucumbers. And cucumbers anywhere from 2 to 3 foot apart because they're really going to spread. And our cucumbers, our tomatoes, will be on a trellis. Not quite for sure what I'm going to do yet. I don't know if I'm going to do cattle panels or what yet, but I'll figure it out. I may do the Georgia weave on the tomatoes this year.
That sounds like a dance move.
Don't it sound like a dance move? And I always get confused, is it the Georgia weave or the Florida weave? But I think it's Georgia.
Well, we're going to call it the Alabama weave. We got a bunch of cattle panels, but we don't have this many.
No, we don't have this many.
And I sure don't want to be buying none.
Greg does the weave. I tried it at Little Cog, but my rows were just so short that it really didn't benefit me any.
These aren't short.
No.
I'm glad you didn't go over those flowers too.
All right, so we got the tomatoes and cucumbers done. So up next is the squash and zucchini, and we're gonna space those guys out 3 to 4 foot apart because they're gonna get kind of big, so you want those guys to have enough room to spread out. We got the garden planted. We got 4 rows of tomatoes. We got 1 row of squash and zucchini. We got a row of okra. We got a row of eggplants and peppers and cucumbers. We got a half a row of cucumbers. And that's gonna be the main basis of our summer garden. Now we still got some seeds to plant. We got peas, we got purple hull peas, and we got rattlesnake pole beans we gotta do. But we're starting to get a little tired. And so we might be fixing to call it quits on planting, but we gotta get our drip irrigation in. So that's what we're doing now. Love, love, love the drip irrigation. And this drip irrigation is so simple, guys. It's low pressure. You got your main tube that runs through here that supplies all your rows. You got your drip tape in your rows. You got your little tool here that pokes a hole in your tubing. And then this is your connector that connects your tubing to your tape, like so. And I personally, God, this wind, y'all look at this. It has been around 17 to 20 miles an hour today. I personally like the ones with the cutoff valves because a lot of times I'll find that I got a row that doesn't need watering, and so I can cut it off and just water the rows that do need watering. So I like the ones with the cutoff valves. All right, the drip's in. Let's see what happens now. Let's hook the water up to it and fingers crossed, no leaks. All right, so on your drip irrigation, this is low pressure. So you're gonna have to get a reducer. Usually if you get a kit, it'll come with the pressure reducer because you don't want your full pressure going down through there because it'll just blow everything off. But if you get the reducer, it won't do that. I'm ready. I hear it. There it goes. We'll check for our leaks first, and then we'll cut it off and fix them. All right, so got the drip going. I had a couple leaks, but I got those guys fixed. What's so easy about this drip irrigation is it's so easy to fix. I mean, you got a leak, you can cut it out, put a coupler there, and our union, and just keep going. I mean, it's low pressure, so you don't have to worry about anything, and we're good to go. Now we'll let it run for about, I say about 3 hours. That's right, it will be almost dark. All right, whew, I'm ready for some supper.
Well, guess what?
What?
We're gonna have some of those freeze-dried collard greens
Are we gonna have collard greens?
and black-eyed peas.
That's what I'm talking about. Cornbread?
Maybe.
Moody, I appreciate your help today, brother. I sure do appreciate it. Now, you know any of these extras now, you're gonna get you a little snack. So, I know you'll be happy when the garden gets rolling. And I'm so happy that everybody's getting along. There's Top. I don't know where old Crazy Joe is. There he is. Crazy Joe. And leader of the pack, Moo Man. You have a wonderful evening, buddy. All right, so it is the next day. It's actually the next afternoon. It's been well over 24 hours. I've been out here several times, and I'm happy to report, not one time, not one single time have we seen a duck, or anything for that matter, but it was mainly ducks is all we were having over here. But not one duck has been in the garden. So that means one thing. Fence is working, y'all. It's working. Or so far it is anyways. And everything still looks good. So we're good to go. But that makes me happy. And Scott too. Holly, what you think? What you think, girl? Yeah. Holly's is a little upset because she's not having to, or not getting to herd the ducks up, because she loves herding ducks.